back, Flare community. I hope you're well and having an incredible day as always. And yes, it is time to talk about FAssets, the highly anticipated protocol that is going to be launching on the Flare network very soon. Now, the question on everyone's lips is when? When are we going to be able to see this protocol? We know that it's already launched on the Songbird network and is currently going through testing, and everyone wants to know when Flare. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that we know about the timeline and also sprinkle in a little bit of speculation as well to maybe think about when we can expect this to go live. And the good news for you guys is I think it's sooner than what you think. So jumping in here, this is from Hugo back in May 26th. He says, "We have all been waiting a very long time for the next bus." No kidding. It's on schedule and thankfully it's a double decker. So again, this was last month, and the double decker aspect from my perspective is a two-pronged attack where he's going to be launching FAssets version 1.1 on the Flare network in conjunction with the XRP staking platform from Centaura, which is the entity that is behind Firelight that is building the XRP staking platform. So that's clue one. It's on schedule. And when must his schedule be? When does he want to actually launch this? Well, I've had my speculation sometime around this week, if I'm honest. As many of you know, the XRPL Apex event, which is a event that is hosting a lot of developers in the XRP community, and this is the perfect time for Hugo to talk about XRP staking, which he will be. But today, this is on the 9th of June as the time I'm recording this video, there was actually an pre-XRPL Apex event. Here we say it's actually titled "Celebrate the Arrival of XRP on Flare During Apex Week." So I'm assuming this is just referring to the date today, but celebrate the arrival of XRP on Flare. And I was speculating before about when are there occasions where you celebrate something or celebrate the arrival of something before it happens? Obviously with the exclusions of little babies, right? Anyways, this was actually hosted today, and there was some announcements here with EZA app, which is the world's biggest developers community building on the world's leading chains. And basically it's a bridge between a big community of developers and networks that are looking for developers. If we scroll down here just a moment. This is talking about the event that happened just recently. It ended maybe an hour or two ago. EZA times Flare partnered with Flare Networks launch. This is actually, here we go. Where are we? Yes, EZA co-founder. We've got Phil here announces Flare Network is launching on EZA. So this is going to bring a lot of developer attention and hopefully some incredible apps to the network. This event here, I think it was a great precursor. So if we go back here, to setting the stage for everyone that is in Singapore for the XRP Apex event. And if we go here, we got this from Hugo, which is a little bit more recently. This is from June the 3rd. He said, "Just a heads up on FXRP on the Flare network. We are waiting for one audit report, and also because we want to launch with a very big bang. For Firelight to be close to launching before we send XRP live on Flare." He's going to keep us updated. Will we see an update in Singapore during his speak at the Apex event? We're just going to have to wait and see. So this is what I was talking about with the double-decker bus. So FAssets, that's FXRP, in conjunction with Firelight's staking platform. He said that he's waiting for one audit, and we don't know how far away that is. I'm assuming, you know, if we look back over here, talking about it's on schedule, and again, you've got to acknowledge that this was quite a while ago. It was last month. I would anticipate that Hugo would think it would be of strategical importance to deliver this news of XRP landing on Flare Network, to a highly targeted audience. And as he's speaking in an XRP Ledger event, I thought this would be the perfect place. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. We've got this from ImmuneFi here. We're excited to share that we've officially entered the evaluation phase of the Flare Network's FAsset audit competition. Now, don't get this twisted. This is a separate audit competition, not part of the audit that Hugo was referring to on this bit here, okay? So this is obviously a great step in the right direction. I believe this was a community-driven event where the community can look at the smart contracts, analyze them, scrutinize them, and put forward any suggestions or any weaknesses that they may find, I guess, as another way of, another layer of security. You know, the more eyes on these smart contracts, the better. So they're just wrapping things up. This was actually posted earlier today, maybe 10 hours ago. And the evaluation process, I'm not sure how long it takes, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Hugo is going to be speaking at Apex, as I did mention. And you may be wondering, what was he going to be talking about? Let's get rid of this. He's actually going to be talking about, we click on him here. He's going to be talking about XRP staking, powered by the Flare Network and trusted execution environments. Now, one thing about this title is that with this TEEs, the trusted execution environments, I'm assuming that this discussion is not just going to be about FAssets version 1.1, but also expanding into version 2.0, which will encompass trusted execution environments and protocol managed wallets. This event here is Hugo speaking by himself, and he also has this speech on the 12th of June, which is talking about breaking silos, building the future of cross-chain interoperability. Now, this is actually a panel of different speakers, and Hugo is one of about 4, if I'm not mistaken. So it seems like this is going to be heavily focused on the Flare Network, and this one here will be more generic about just bridging silos, interoperability, and utilizing or expanding the use case of the XRP token. Right, moving on here. Just as a heads up, if you do want to get a little bit more information about FLR and its role in FAssets version 1.1, which will exclusively use XRP, it's not going to include Dogecoin or Bitcoin. That's coming in the version 2. But if you want to get a little bit more information about it, the Flare Networks team wrote a really good article, and it's definitely worth watching or reading if you haven't already. In addition to that, we know that it has launched on the Songbird network, and some of you may already be participating in the FAssets protocol. And if you are, don't forget to collect your RFLR rewards via the Flare portal. So who's building this staking platform once XRP does hit the Flare network? Well, it's actually Centaura, previously known as Into the Block. These are an entity that are, if we go here, look, their restaking has emerged as a major DeFi trend, unlocking liquidity and yield from assets that were once largely static. And if we go back, we go back to their website, they're actually a big player in the game with a lot of clout, and they are the institutional DeFi layer. So their software, I believe, is touted as very secure, and it's going to bring in institutional grade interest to the Flare network, and that obviously is a good thing. Right, I just read this here, and they actually have a seminar coming up on the 18th of June, so not too far away. And if you are interested, I'm going to be streaming this, so feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. This seems like, well, first of all, this picture is indeed from the Firefly Sorry, not Firefly. Where am I? Firelight. This is from the Firelight, I guess, stock images. Let me go back up here and click on media. As you can see, this is the image right here, and that's how we know that there is definitely the connection. I did speculate it many weeks ago, and it seems like it is true. There's the fire right there. In this seminar, they're going to be talking about general restaking, what it is, and they mentioned here boosting yield for Ethereum validators and opening fresh yield doors for assets like Bitcoin and, as we know, XRP. So we're going to be tuning into this, and if you want to listen into it live with me and join the chat, then please feel free to do so. So, in a roundabout way, when is FXRP coming to life on the Flare network? Well, I was speculating it was this week, especially with the launch of Apex and Hugo speaking on the 11th of June, but it seems like we are hanging in the balance, very much dependent on this audit report, and yeah, we just don't have a solid date for that. Hugo says he will keep you updated, as will I when I hear information. I was just about to wrap up the video here. I did all my editing and I got this notification from the Flare Network team. They said catch Hugo on stage at Apex on Wednesday. And he's going to be talking, of course, as we mentioned, about a deep dive on XRP staking powered by Flare. Rumor has it there might be some alpha. So what does this mean? You know, it could be a potential launch. We don't know. It could just be a future launch date. Either way, we're going to be having news on Wednesday. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to be sharing that with you. And yeah, let's just see what happens. And that is pretty much the video. Before we wrap up, I want you all to be as prepared as you can. We know that Flare are heavily incentivizing participation of DeFi on the Flare network, and I think they're going to be giving very generous rewards in RFLR for providing liquidity for XRP and USDT 0 and FLR. So if you want to be ready and you want to get them high APYs as soon as possible, and you are looking to provide liquidity on a decentralized exchange, then please ensure that you have these three assets at the ready. Of course, I'm going to be talking through my strategy on the Patreon group, so if anyone is interested, you can find a link in the description below. I'm going to be talking FAssets for general, for everyone. I'm going to be providing guides and walkthroughs, and that is pretty much it, guys. So with that out of the way, it seems like we have a lot of great things on the horizon. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Do have yourself an incredible day as always. And until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.